Hello and welcome to Quiz Time. I'm Jess and today we've got a quiz for all you baby boomers. So let's go. Where was Elvis Presley stationed when he served in the army? Texas, France or West Germany? It was West Germany. What Swiss French food inspired openings of specialty restaurants in kitchenware at home kits during the 1950s? Jello, croissants or fondue? Fondue. What 1960s television show broke racial barriers by featuring a diverse lead cast? The Addams Family, Star Trek or Gilligan's Island? Star Trek. What is the name of the fashion revolution that changed norms in menswear in the 60s to the 70s? Peacock Revolution, Psychedelic Revolution or Hippie Revolution? Peacock Revolution. What was the original name of Etch-a-Sketch? The Magic Screen, Sketch Screen or Sketch-a-Magic? The Magic Screen. What year did Queen Elizabeth II have the first televised Christmas broadcast? 1970, 1965 or 1957? 1957. What National Football League NFL team entered the league in 1960? New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys or Minnesota Vikings? Dallas Cowboys. Fill in the blank of this Earth, Wind and Fire song. Do you remember the 21st night of December, Christmas or September? It's September. True or false? Walt Disney used footage from Mary Poppins to persuade the Sound of Music director to cast Julie Andrews for the lead role. It's true. What book was written because the Random House publishing founder bet Dr. Seuss that he couldn't write a book within 50 or fewer words? The Lorax, Green Eggs and Ham or Cat in the Hat? Green Eggs and Ham. What were the top baby names for boys and girls used in the UK during the 1950s? David and Susan, John and Carol, or Stephen and Linda? Are these your names, perhaps? David and Susan, are you watching us? What was the name of the US Senator who would accuse people of being communists during the Red Scare? Joseph McCarthy, Lyndon Johnson, or Richard Nixon? Joseph McCarthy. What was the name of the Beach Boys' first album, released in 1962? Surfin' USA, Surfer Girl, or Surfin' Safari? Surfing Safari. Which author is known for books Breakfast at Tiffany's and In Cold Blood? J.D. Salinger, Truman Capote, or Ayn Rand? Truman Capote. What doll was popular in the UK in the 1960s and its rights were sold to Hasbro for US production in 1986? Barbie doll, Cindy doll, or American Girl? It was the Cindy doll. I had a Cindy, but I wanted a Barbie. When the Soviet Union competed in the Olympics for the first time, which city hosted the Games? Moscow, Melbourne, or Helsinki? Helsinki. True or false? By the 1960s, Jell-O mold recipes gained so much popularity there were vegetable-based flavours released, such as celery and seasoned tomato. It's true. In 1959, Vice President Nixon compared the colour television to which Russian technological advancement? Microwave, transistor radio, or outer space rockets? Outer space rockets. What was the name of the nightclub that Ricky Ricardo in I Love Lucy performed in? Tropicana, Crescent, or Copacabana? Tropicana. What serial killer went to University of Utah Law School and is suspected to have killed 100+ women across the US? John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, or Jim Jones? Ted Bundy. Paul McCartney almost started a record label with what other British invasion musician? Mick Jagger, Ray Davies, or Roger Daltrey? Mick Jagger. What was the name of the horse that won the Triple Crown in 1973? Secretariat, Citation, or Seattle Slew? Secretariat. True or false? Artists Andy Warhol and Roy Lichtenstein both created pop art paintings of beloved cartoon character Popeye. It's true. What is a key ingredient of the original and popular Pink Squirrel cocktail? White creme de cacao, creme de menthe, or creme de mure? White creme de cacao. Which designer was credited for the invention of the miniskirt? Yves Saint Laurent, Paco Rabanne, or Mary Quant? Mary Quant. What was the name of the first handheld calculator prototype in 1967? Caltech, Handy, or MathsTech? Caltech. True or false? To Kill a Mockingbird has never won a Pulitzer Prize, even though it sold over 40 million copies worldwide. It's false. The novel won a Pulitzer Prize in 1961, just 1 year after it was released. Which team did Jackie Robinson and the Brooklyn Dodgers beat to win the 1955 Major League Baseball World Series? New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, or Chicago Cubs? New York Yankees. What actor actors were almost given the roles of Sandy and Danny in Grease, Carrie Fisher and Henry Winkler, Robert De Niro and Sigourney Weaver, or Harrison Ford and Diane Keaton. Carrie Fisher and Henry Winkler. In the 1970s, what fast food chain in the UK did not allow women inside their restaurants alone after midnight? Wimpy, McDonald's, or Burger King? Wimpy. What scientific discovery was found in 1953? DNA's double helix, oldest dinosaur fossils, or electromagnetic fields? DNA's double helix. How many employees did it take to build a Disney World in Orlando, Florida? 15,000, 9,000, or 100? 9,000 to build it. Which comedian was known for doing a Tarzan yell in skits in 1960s and 70s? Carol Burnett, Dick Van Dyke, or Lucille Ball? Carol Burnett. What was the Duck and Cover campaign in schools across the US in the 1950s and 60s? Fire safety awareness, air raid drills, or civil rights protest? Duck and Cover was air raid drills. Fill in the Frank Sinatra song lyrics. I want to wake up in a city and do it my way, that never sleeps, and play among the stars. That never sleeps. What clothing item made designer Diane von Fussenberg popular in 1974? Jersey silk dress, bell-bottom jeans, or aviator glasses? Jersey silk dress. Why did video game company Sega first start producing games? Military base entertainment, add to shopping malls, or capitalise on movie theatre lobbies? Military base entertainment. What was the figurative term that described the divide between the Soviet Union and the rest of Europe, coined by Winston Churchill? The Iron Curtain. What sporting event was called the Rumble in the Jungle? 1974 Muhammad Ali vs George Foreman boxing, 1970 World Cup, or 1974 Miami Dolphins Super Bowl win? Of course, it was Muhammad Ali and George Foreman rumbling in the jungle. In what year was the polio vaccine made available to the US public? 1960, 1945, or 1955? 1955. Who was one of the first musicians to release an album on a cassette tape? Johnny Mathis, Elvis Presley, or John Denver? Johnny Mathis. Which actress is considered the First Lady of Television? Betty White, Barbra Streisand, or Mary Tyler Moore? Betty White. True or false? The heiress of the Folger Coffee Company, Abigail Folger, was murdered by Charles Manson and his family. True. What did the group Band-Aid make music to raise funds for? Ethiopian famine, HIV or AIDS, or muscular dystrophy awareness? They did it to feed the world, the Ethiopian famine. When was the first mobile phone call made in Britain? Christmas Day 1987, January the 1st, 1985, or July the 15th, 1980? And the phone was ginormous. January the 1st, 1985. What was the name of the first episode of Doctor Who? Who? The Unearthly Child, Doctor Who, or Time Lord? And the show's still going now. It was called The Unearthly Child. In 1967, what US state was the McDonald's Big Mac first introduced? Pennsylvania, New York, or California? Now this is unfair. Food questions, and we don't even have a McDonald's here in Guernsey. Pennsylvania. Now I fancy a Big Mac. What was the name of the company that made Stingray bicycle popular? Raleigh, Schwinn, or Peugeot? Schwinn. In the 1960s, what was the second most popular doll behind the Barbie doll? Chatty Cathy, Susie Homemaker, or Tammy Doll? Chatty Cathy. Did you have a Chatty Cathy? What is the name of the dance when you must move your body quickly from side to side? Hand jive, the jerk, or the twist? It's the twist. True or false? Actor John Travolta won an Oscar for his performance in Saturday Night Fever. It's false. John Travolta was nominated, but he didn't win. What year did war rationing end after World War II in the UK? 1954, 1960, or 1949? 1954. Whiskey sours were a popular drink in the 1960s. What was a key ingredient in it? Lime juice, grenadine, or egg white? Guessing whiskey too. It was egg white. What was the name of the US program that began the withdrawal of troops from Vietnam? Bay of Pigs, Vietnamization, or Agent Orange? Vietnamization. In 1970, what company mass-produced the first portable television? Nikon, Panasonic, or Motorola? Panasonic. What did Queen Elizabeth II volunteer as during World War II? A nurse, mechanic and truck driver, or secretary? A mechanic and truck driver, much more her style. What was the slogan of the 1964-65 World's Fair in Queens, New York? Peace through understanding, come together, or century of progress. Peace through understanding. What was the British cruise ship that sailed from Southampton, England to Long Beach, California? Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, or Queen Mary? Queen Mary. What was the name of the first satellite launched by the UK in 1971? Sputnik, Ariel, or Prospero? Prospero. What was the name of the King Tut Egyptian exhibit that travelled around the world in the 1970s and 80s? Treasures of Tutankhamun, Tut's Tomb, or King Tutankhamun of Egypt? Treasures of Tutankhamun. What Olympic figure skater started a hairstyle trend in the 1970s? Linda Fratinain, Tonya Harding, or Dorothy Hamill? Dorothy Hamill. Which US president signed legislation that funded the creation of highways? Dwight D. Eisenhower, Harry Truman, or Franklin D. Roosevelt? Dwight D. Eisenhower. In 1976, what were the first two destinations of the Concorde plane? New York and London, Amsterdam and Rome, or Bahrain and Rio de Janeiro? Bahrain and Rio de Janeiro. What was the name of Coca-Cola Company's first diet drink, launched in 1963? Zero, Tab, or Low Cal? Tab. Who was the first actor to portray James Bond? Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, or Roger Moore? Sean Connery. The winner of the first Miss Universe pageant hailed from Finland, France, or Sweden? It was Finland. Fill in the Beatles lyrics. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends, my family, or the world. My friends. In 1992, what non-pizza item did Domino's Pizza put on the menu? Pasta, breadsticks, or garlic knots? Breadsticks. Back on food again. During the Civil Rights Movement, which woman refused to give up her seat to a white passenger on the bus? Rosa Parks. In 1988, what goods did the 25-year import rule in the US apply to? Alcohol, medication, or foreign cars? Foreign cars. What artist referred to as the Queen of Motown? Gladys Knight, Brenda Holloway, or Diana Ross? Diana Ross. In 1978, what country hosted and won the World Cup? Argentina, England, or West Germany? Argentina. What was the slang term used in the 1980s that meant disgusting? As if, gag me with a spoon, or gnarly? Gag me with a spoon. What was the actress Sandra Dee's legal name at birth? Jodie, Alexandria Dee, or Alexandria Zook? Alexandria Zook. What was the name of the failed invasion of Cuba by the US in '61? Bay of Pigs, Manhattan Project, or Operation Tomahawk? Bay of Pigs. True or false? The New York Jets, American football, were originally called the Giants of New York when the team was founded in 1959. False. The Jets were originally called the Titans of New York. What actor was known for his role in Rebel Without a Cause and is seen as a fashion icon? Marlon Brando, Dean Martin, or James Dean? James Dean. Who invented the first poodle skirt in 1947? Coco Chanel, Christian Dior, or Julie Lynn Charlotte? Julie Lynn Charlotte. What 1950s UK children's show was based on a young boy who could extend his arms and legs? Watch with Mother, Andy Pandy, or The Adventures of Twizzle? The Adventures of Twizzle. What humanitarian charity that aided children worldwide was founded in 1946? CARE, Doctors Without Borders, or UNICEF? UNICEF. What popular toy could climb down a flight of stairs and reform itself? Slinky, hula hoop, or Lego? Slinky. The Tupperware Company was started by Earl Tupper, who worked as a teacher, chemist, or chef. A chemist. In 1968, what was the first endangered animal in the US to have a habitat built to protect it? Red wolf, Utah prairie dog, or Florida key deer? Florida key deer. Which town was the first mass-produced suburb in the US? Tacoma, Washington, Burlington, Vermont, or Levittown, New York? Levittown, New York. In 1949, what scientific term was coined regarding the sudden creation of the universe? Black hole, aberration of light, or Big Bang? The Big Bang Theory. One of the first commercially produced computers was made by Remington Rand, Who was their first customer? US Navy, BBC Network, or Hollywood producers? US Navy. Who was considered the first multimedia star with success in television, radio, music, and more? Laurence Olivier, Bing Crosby, or Humphrey Bogart? Bing Crosby. True or false? The 4 prosecutors who indicated Nazi Germany before Nuremberg trials were from the US, Great Britain, France, and the Soviet Union. True. What was the song at the top of the first ever top of the Billboard? What was at the top of the first ever Billboard Top 100 in 1940? I'll Never Smile Again, You Are My Sunshine, or Frenesy? I'll Never Smile Again. Which Alfred Hitchcock movie had the famous line, "We all go a little mad sometimes"? Vertigo, Psycho, or Frenzy? Psycho. What Broadway show and movie tells the story of a gang member falling in love with his rival's sister? The King and I, West Side Story, or Guys and Dolls? West Side Story. What was the first company in the US to sell boxed cake mixes? Pillsbury, Duncan Hines, or Betty Crocker? Betty Crocker. Still love a Betty Crocker cake today. What 1953 novel was about a fireman in a futuristic society whose job was to burn houses that had books? Catcher in the Rye, Fahrenheit 451, or Lord of the Flies? Fahrenheit 451. Before Ellis Island closed, its last detainee was released in 1954. What country was the detainee from? Ireland, China, or Norway? Norway. What type of hair dryer was released in 1951 that connected to a tube that could be placed over someone's head? Bonnet, supersonic, or handheld? I remember sitting in one of these when I was young. Bonnet, all afternoon on a Saturday to dry my very long hair. What cartoon character uses the catchphrase, "What's up, Doc"? Roadrunner, Mickey Mouse, or Bugs Bunny? Bugs Bunny. When did military conscription end in the UK? 1973, 1960, or 1957? 1960. In the US, what law states that people cannot be discriminated against in educational or work settings based on sex? Roe v. Wade ruling, Second Amendment, or Title IX? Title IX. In the first comic book issue of Captain America, who is fighting off on the cover? Adolf Hitler, Superman, or President Truman? Adolf Hitler. And your last one, true or false? Chuck Taylor Converse released color canvas sneakers in 1971 so college teams could match their school colors. It's true. So how did you do today? Drop your score in the comments below and of course like and subscribe so you get notified every time we post a new quiz. And join us for more fun next time on Quiz Time.